Someone reminded me in the comments on a video this week, something I said in the very first video that I posted on this channel about mindset. And it said that 95% of our thoughts today are the same thoughts as yesterday. So that means we only have 5%, 1 in 20 of our thoughts are different from the day before. So if you're not intentional about renewing your mind, about changing your mind, about inspiring yourself, getting outside of your mind and telling yourself what you should be thinking, you're just going to go on autopilot. And most of your life is just going to be the same as what you've done. And your thinking is just going to be a result of your past thinking. Your results will be the same. What we need to do is we need to have some self-reflection. So we need to come to the end of our days and look at what things am I thinking? What habits am I putting into place that aren't helping me? What things do I need to change if I want to change the results I'm getting? What results do I want and what do I need to do to get there? And I think one thing that people can do is we can beat ourselves up when we do the wrong things and say, I'm not getting anywhere, things are just staying the same. But every moment that we recognize that, there is a huge opportunity. And at that point, we can stop and we can step outside of ourselves and we can look in and we can say, what do we actually want to change here? What thinking needs to change? What habits need to change? And with that comes a lot of hope. We're not going to get it perfect, but every time it's like adjusting the sail just that little bit, even if it's 1 degree, just adjusting that sail. And if we're doing that every single day, then over the course of a few months, we're going to see such a transformation in our mind. From day to day, it might not be large, but over a period of time, it will be. It'll start to happen. So we need to be intentional. You got to ask yourself, what are the priorities in my life? What needs to change in my life right now? And what are some of the things I need to do? And just start somewhere. Start making some small changes. And every time you realize that you're going back to old habits, don't beat yourself up and say, this isn't working. I'm getting nowhere. Nothing's changing. No, go. This is a new opportunity right now to reset my focus where it needs to be. And I've done that so many times during my recovery and with other areas of my life. I'll have a bad week, for example, of health, and I'll say I feel stuck. And then I project forward everything that's happened in the past. It seems impossible. I can't change things. But then when I actually stop and reflect, I think to myself, all right, this is an opportunity to plan tomorrow differently, to plan the next few days differently, to put new thoughts into my mind, to sit there with my journal and reflect and to write some new things down, the direction that I want to head in, the habits that I want to be doing. So rather than leading to despair, when we hit a bit of a wall like that, when we hit a bit of a wall and we feel stuck, it's actually an opportunity because it gives us a chance to have some introspection. When we get to a point where enough is enough, a person hits rock bottom and living in a certain way becomes painful enough, that's the time when a person's going to have the motivation to change it. And like I said, it doesn't have to be big change each day. Just adjust some things, and then over time, it's amazing how much changes because you change 5% today, that 5% is going to carry over to the next day and to the next day and to the next day. And all of a sudden, that 95% thoughts that you were thinking the same are going to change. And the good thoughts that you're putting in are going to be part of the 95% that you are thinking each day. And then all of a sudden, you've turned things right around. And that autopilot is helping you rather than holding you back. You've conditioned your mind, you've developed the habits to be thinking the right things, to be seeing things in the right way. And that's going to become natural rather than seeing things in a negative way, doing the wrong things. I think it's such an important lesson as people. We can beat ourselves up, but it's never going to help us. We have to come from a place of empowerment. We have to come from a place that is going to empower us to get better. So one thing I would suggest, and one thing I do all the time, I've got my journal. I write in it all the time, self-reflection, tinkering with things. Write down some habits you need to change. Write down some things that aren't working in your life. Write down some things that are, and give yourself some applause for that. But write down those things you want to change. And you know what? You write it down. If you don't get it right tomorrow, that's all right. Start again. Start again the next day. If you don't get it right, then start again the next day. And the person who persists over and over and over again will eventually get it right. So I just wanted to say this because it's easy to get stuck in that rut of negativity, of what's not working. But right now you're watching this video, this is an opportunity where you can implement things you've never implemented before. You can cut out negative habits that you haven't been able to cut out for months or years. Right now you can start. And don't be discouraged because it seems small, because over time, that little bit will grow into something so much bigger. Day by day, compounding every day. So take inventory, friends. If you don't have any introspection, if you're not looking at what needs to change, that 95% is going to stay the same. You're going to be in the same place in a week, in a month, in a year, maybe in 5 years. And then you're going to look back and you go, what the heck is happening with my life? I could have been so much better by now. I could have achieved this by now, but I'm in the same place. And that may be you. You may be looking back and you may be in that place of regret, but it doesn't have to be you going forward. What you can achieve in the next weeks, months, 6 months even, you could be in such a better place than you are now. But start today. Don't put it off another day. Get your book, write down what you want to change, and take small steps today. It's the only way forward. Every journey, the longest journey, starts with a single step. And make today the day that you start that new journey. Friends, believe what's possible. What's happened in the past doesn't define you. What you do today will shape who you are tomorrow. Don't let yourself have regrets tomorrow because you wouldn't get started today. Good health, friends.